Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be repainting this clay statue. She's very lovely and I've had her for some years now, and I had her in the kitchen, so she got a little greasy. I cleaned her up, and this was a gift from my parents. They had gone on trips to Mexico and brought me some items back. They bought me two of these dolls. Another one is quite different from this, and I believe the other one was also a little more expensive. This one, since the day my dad gave it to me, he said, well, maybe her colors aren't that pretty, but maybe you can repaint it. But I always left her as this. But you know, with the years going by, like I said, she got a little greasy because I had her in the kitchen. I cleaned her up, cleaned some of the oil, but it also removed some of the paint off of her. And I thought, well, I could just retouch that. But I've always wanted to repaint her. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I gave her like a really good cleanup. And all because I'm not too crazy about the colors. I'm not too crazy about this orangey, almost terracotta color skin. I do want her dark, but I don't want her this orangey color. And I'm not crazy about the lavender. I'm okay with the red, but it's a little too much red for me. So I think I'm going to just do some different colors. I'm not going to use yellow because I'm going to use yellow for the, again, for the flowers here, the sunflowers. So I'm not going to use yellow anywhere. So the first thing I want to do, besides cleaning her, I want to give her a base coat. So I have this Waverly chalk paint. It's a cashew. And it's just an acrylic paint. You can use whatever acrylic paint. I thought about spray painting her. I did buy some spray paint, but at the end I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do some brushing. Now my clay paint here is pretty dry. It's pretty thick. So I think I'm just going to water it down, see if I can use it, see if I can save it. If not, I might go ahead and spray paint her, or I actually have other paints that I can just pull out. Just some acrylic paints and use for this project. So let's try and see if we can't fix this paint a little bit. So with that said, let's get to crafting. Alright, so I poured a little bit of the paint, just super thick, you guys. And then I poured some water into it. And I'm here kind of watering it down, trying to break it up. The kind of pasty paint here. I'm going to try using this. I feel like maybe it's a little too watered down, but let's try it. No, it actually works pretty good. Alright, so now that I know that works, I'll continue painting her. Okay, up here on her face. And I've got a little fan on. You might be able to hear it, you guys. I still have shingles. I went through a 10-day pill thing that I had to take 5 times a day. I actually just carried them around with me wherever I was so I wouldn't forget to take them, and I had made myself a little pill schedule on my phone to remind me also. But I'm done with that, but I still have the pain from that. And I have a doctor's appointment on the 14th, and I don't want to do another, just to walk in again, since I do have that set appointment from the last 3 months that I had a, an actual doctor's appointment. So when I went, I didn't get seen by my doctor. I got seen by a physician's assistant. So anyway, yeah, I'm still having pain and the rash and the little blisters. They're very painful, especially under my arm. I did order a cream. I'm going to see if it works. I don't want to, not trying to like get anybody here to buy it. I'm just going to see if it works. I'm not even going to say what it is. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it works. It says it relieves a lot of the burning and itching, so we'll find out. Okay, so let's see, how much further do I want to go? I think I might have to do a couple of coats because I can see, color, and this is a paint is kind of watered down here. Might have to do a couple of coats. So yeah, anyway, I'll see that cream helps me until I go see the doctor again. I might end up going to see the doctor before I actually see if the cream actually helped me. but it says it's instant relief. Okay, so we'll find out. All right, I'll continue painting this, and I'll probably just give her a second coat, let her dry, and then I'll be back to decide what colors I should put on her. She looks kind of pretty, that color, doesn't she? She almost looks like the Virgin Mary. All right, so she's almost dry. I've decided that to mix up some paint colors, and I just use this brown that I bought from, I think I bought this from Dollar Tree. It's this deep brown. And then I have this from Folk Art. It's called Parchment. So I decided to lighten up this brown, which is kind of what she was like before, kind of a terracotta-y brown. And I've made this other tone here. And I like it, but we'll see how that looks. So I've got a tiny little brush right here. Dip it in some water first. I'm going to pick up some paint, and then I'm going to put it on her face and see if I like that tone. If it's not too kind of, I don't know. It's more pinkish, so I do like that. She's got a pinkish tone. I'm not going to do like, I don't know, maybe I will. I'm saying I'm not going to do any highlights on her skin, but maybe I will. Like some contouring and all that. I don't think I want to do that detailed of a job here. Okay. Let's see, she's still in shot. Yeah, you can see. Gonna work our way down. Around her eyes. I should have painted the white of her eyes first, which I think I will in a little bit. And then I'll just touch up this color around. I'll figure out where the white of her eyes should be. This is actually looking pretty good. I'm liking this color. Definitely like it a lot more than what she was before. But I did look up some images of some of these Mexican dolls, and I'll show you a couple on the screen right now. Just to give you an idea of where I'm kind of getting my inspiration as far as the colors are concerned. I don't remember exactly right now what I chose, but I might not be working with the same, not be going with the same skin tones on those pictures. I wanted to keep her morena. You know, have a darker skin tone, more olive tone to her, and I didn't want to make her too pale, too white. I didn't want to make her like me because I'm a little light-skinned. I'm not a morena. I'm a güera. It just means white skin or light skinned. Okay. Okay, let's see if this is going to look good. I'm going to let this dry because the more I try to brush it around, what do you think of that? I think I like it. You can't tell me, right? Because we're not live. Maybe I should do one of these things live one day so you can be telling me, what do you like? I just don't have enough people watching to do a live. All right, let's see. Yeah, I like this. I said I was gonna stop. I'm trying to like remove where I see like paint a little too thick because of the little brush. So that's what I was doing. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry and I'll be back. I'll probably do the white of her eyes and I'll be back. All right, everyone. So I was doing the white of the eyes and the pupil. I decided to do the pupil. So you can see here where, you know, I had to do kind of a big old white spot, and then I did the little pupil in there. And then I went around with the same paint to around the edges of the eye. And I'm just using a soft brush this time to go around. so that I don't leave too many streaks of the paint that I want on her skin. So I'm going to do the same thing like I did with this one, but I have to kind of hold it like really close. I even had to remove my glasses so that I can see and hold it really close. I decided that I wanted to give her some dark brown eyes, but I need to do a little dark black pupil in the middle, and then do a little kind of like a little bit of white, do a little catch. I'm trying not to do too much detail because again, she didn't have the detail originally, so I don't want to start trying to do all that. So I'm trying to keep myself from doing that and just giving her just a simple face. But I still don't want her to be like just like that because she looks like, oh my god, you know, she's scared. So I do want to try and give her a nice look. So I'm doing that. You're not gonna see me doing that because I have to hold her like really close to me to see what I'm doing, and little edges here where I'm trying to do the lids around the eyes. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and then I'll be back and continue. I'm gonna finish off her skin, and then I'm gonna decide what colors. I've already pulled out an assortment of paints to see what colors I actually want to use, like on her dress and her veil here, her beautiful flowers she has as well. All right, so I've painted her eyes, and I even gave her some eyebrows, the best that I could do. I don't want to keep doing it because the more I tried fixing it, the more I messed it up. So I just went ahead and left it like that. Of course, her eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters, right? All right, so I want to paint her lips. So I've got some pink here, but I don't want to give her like really pink or red lips. So I'm actually mixing that pink with the color that I used for the skin so that it's more, you know, less, well, a little subtle is what I meant. Okay, so I'm going to try that on the lips and see how that looks. And I'm actually having trouble with this brush, but you know, what the heck. I'm just going to do a little bit of a touch here just so we can see what that looks like. I'm not sure I like that. I think I'm going to go ahead and get some red and give her some red lips instead. So actually that looks pretty good if I actually do it a little more brown than pink. Let me try a little bit of red. I'll do that off camera as well. It's just so hard to get like really close in there. And also not holding her like very stiffly so that I can get in there. And I don't think I can get the camera in the right angle to show you that. So I'll just do that off camera. All right, so I want to continue painting her. Of course, I don't know if I told you, I did the hair and I did the lips, eyes, everything, eyebrows. I tried doing a little correcting and I ended up messing it up again. So then I had to start all over again. So like I said, stop somewhere. I had to tell myself, stop. Okay. So then now I want to do her veil. And this sort of looks like she's got some white lace up here. This looks like it's maybe like a little apron on top of what would be her dress. So I want to do the bottom part or the skirt in this pool blue. This is Craft Smart paint. I don't remember if I got this from the Dollar Tree or if I got it at Michael's or someplace like that. But it's a pretty blue. It's like a very light turquoisey color, which I was thinking about, or a light blue. Now I wanted to do her veil like an almost light sky blue, but I had this paint called Salmon, so I think I'm going to use this one for the veil, and I think I'm going to do her apron in pink, and then I'm going to do what looks like a lace down here and lace up here in white. So I've got the pink here. This is Crafter's Collection. Again, I don't remember if I got these from Dollar Tree or if I got them from Hobby Lobby. I think this Crafter's Collection is from Hobby Lobby because it's more of the recent paint that I got. So, and I just bought some from there. And I've got two tones of greens, Apple Barrel. This is called Spring Green. And then I got Anita's All-Purpose Acrylic Paint Christmas Green. By the way, this is a white from Anita's. This is Ceramcoat, the salmon color. Okay, and then I've got this Apple Barrel Bright Yellow that I think I want to use for the sunflower. And I've got this pink also because I have a darker pink. This one right here. It's a fuchsia, also from Crafter's Collection. I want to use that for these flowers here because I don't think these are sunflowers. I think there's something else So I think I want to do it in that darker pink, or possibly I'll pull out a purple, lavender. We'll see. So the first thing I want to do is paint her dress, the bottom dress part here, in this beautiful pool blue. Now she does have this sort of like a trim right here, which is kind of repeated up here, so I'm going to leave that, maybe paint it another color. My brush is very wet. I should have dried it a little bit more. Days going by and I just want to get this painted. I've stopped to do some things. Also give my mom something to eat for the middle of the afternoon here before it gets later and I have to make dinner, but I don't like her waiting too long, so I have to give her a little snack because she gets really hungry. Might be the medications she's on, I don't know, but it's okay because I give her just some small things. Because I would give her breakfast, she eats really well, but then at dinner time she doesn't eat like all of her food, so then she gets hungry in the middle of the night. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving her like a smaller, like a lunch and then a snack, like small meals, like a tortilla with melted cheese. She likes this Mexican queso fresco and a corn tortilla just toasted up like a little taquito. The cheese melts up a little bit in the hot tortilla and it's actually really good. So I give her that. And then I have some oatmeal cookies that I purchased that I can give her that later as a snack, which is 3 o'clock right now, which is when I gave it to her. And then I've got some chicken in my Instant Pot cooking. So I'll just shred it up a little bit and I will serve it with some vegetables. And I'll give her some of that. Just a little bit. And I'll give her either some more of those oatmeal cookies, or I've got some cottage cheese and I can put some pineapple on it. That'll be her later, you know, like a little late night snack so she's not hungry in the middle of the night. If I don't do that, I'll give her some oatmeal cookies. She really likes those. They're from our grocery store and they're like a gourmet type of oatmeal raisin cookie. Okay, so I've painted that, so I need to let that dry before I go on to the next step. And I can see that it's going to need a second coat. And I think the next time that I do this, I'll just squeeze most of the water out of my brush. Try to use a dry brush, clean dry brush, because I think I thinned out the paint a little bit with the water that was in it. So it needs a second coat. I do want to go on to, I wanted to paint this pink, so I'll go ahead and start painting that too, and I can start drying. And then I'll do the veil. And then I'll do all the little details that I want to do. So I'm going to try. Now I think the paints are light enough that I can go ahead and paint on top of them. I was thinking about going around some spots. And, ooh, this pink is like really dark. I think I want it a lot lighter. Yeah, I want it a lot lighter. This is that flamingo pink. Not that fuchsia one, okay? So flamingo pink, I'm gonna add some white to it, lighten it up, because I don't like it too dark. I want it to be paler. That way the colors on the flowers, all that, stand out a little bit more. Oh, I like this better, this lighter color that I'm getting. Yeah, this is nicer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint that. Try not to get it on the part where it's going to be lace. I'm not too worried about getting it on this veil part because that's going to get painted with that salmon color. But try not to paint the spots where don't need to be painted because they're going to be white. So that's what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I'll go around the flower here. And again, I'm not going to do that little trim. I have to decide what color I want to do that trim. Maybe I'll do the darker pink in that. For that. Alright. And I'll be back once I've got this painted. Let me paint a little bit of that veil so that you can see the color that that's going to be. That's salmon. I mean, you're going to see it already done, but okay, so you can see what I'm doing. See this color? Oops, I put it on the trim. I don't need it on there. But yeah, this is the color. Let me see. Am I liking that? This is going to be butted up right against that pink. So am I going to like that? I had thought about doing it in a sky blue like I told you guys. And you know what? I really like this color. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Why not? I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so I'll continue painting and she'll be back once it's all and enough coats that I want, and then I'll do all the little details of the flowers and the lace and such. Oops. Okay, so I'm doing the lavender trim, and this is going to need another coat on all the little parts where I did this trim in lavender. I did all the white also, and that's going to need another go around. I think the white's pretty good. I got a good coverage on it, but because I didn't get too much paint on there. But the other parts, especially this where I'm painting this one trim, I didn't get the pink on there, so I'll have to touch it up. So I have another trim to do around the veil here, and I think that's it as far as the trims and the lace is concerned, because I've already done the upper part as well. So as you can see there, that's already done. I'm just going to touch up a little bit of the white lace. Got to do the purple first on all the trimming first, including the bottom part right here. And then I'll touch up the white, and then I'll clean up like right here where the white kind of extended into the blue. I'll clean that up with more blue because that needs another coat. I'm pretty happy with the pink. I'm happy with the salmon, because here where I have some spots on the veil that might need a second coat, there's going to be green going on there. So I'm not going to bother with that. Of course, I've got the flowers here, lots of leaves here, little shapes here that I want to paint into different greens. It's getting dark on the outside, you guys. Just a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish doing what I just said I'm going to do, the trim and the second coats of everything. And again, I will be back to do the little details. All right, so this is what I have so far. The paint is still a little bit wet here, the blue, because I just finished doing that. I've got the little fan on it to help it dry. I had a major accident. I had this little cup here full of water, which has already had different colors in it because I've been cleaning my brushes. Well, I tipped it over, got water everywhere, and it went flowing to the floor. Well, I had a mess. And then one of the paper plates that I had, I don't know how I got my arm in it, and then I dropped it, and I got paint on the floor, so I had to clean that up. So that was a major part. Otherwise, everything's fine, and I just got some more paint on my hands because I touched the wet blue paint. Okay, and then I ended up touching up a lot of stuff because, you know, every time I want to move this, I get paint on my hands, and then I pass it on to another section. But thankfully, the face has not been touched. I haven't had to retouch that, but I did retouch any spots here and there. I'm going to go ahead and just touch it down here since I've already got blue on my hands. But anyway, there we are. I think she looks really pretty. I now need to do the leaves and then the flowers. So I'm going to start with the veil part. I want to do a kind of a lighter green. I think the little fan's starting to bother my paper here. I didn't tape it down. I had to change this paper as well because I got water all over it. Anyway, so I'm going to use this spring green from Apple Barrel. And I'm just going to use a little thin brush. This one's got some little bristles that are going out of shape. So all I do is just trim off whatever when I see like a little bristle that it wants to just kind of fly out and not let me paint things correctly. So I'm going to start with this. And there is a kind of a rounded leaf right here. So I am going to start with those. Like I said, all this light green up here, because I have a darker green, but I think that would be better for the leaves where the sunflower is. And this goes into like a little line here, but I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm just going to do a little bit here. And then I'll, of course, let that dry, and then I come back and do another coat. All of these leaves here. And they're kind of like carved into the clay. So they're easy to follow. And all of this goes down here, like that. And then there's another leaf right here. Another big leaf. Well, this one's a big one. That's a pretty green. I really like it. I like it against this salmon. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I also lightened up the salmon with a little bit of white. I felt like everything was a little too dark. Okay, I'm going to touch up everything. So I'm not going to worry too much about, some of this stuff. I got some more leaves down here. Got another one over here. I am noticing that it has a little bit of a center here. I don't know if I should maybe add a little bit of a darker or a lighter tone on these. I have a little bit of a center here. But okay, so that's what I'm doing. And of course I got to do it on the other side of her veil. And I'm going to do this part here, green. I did touch up these parts because I did get a lot of that other paint on there. And I thought, well, when I put this light green or even the pink on here, well, that was pink on the salmon is okay. But maybe this green, I would have to do too many coats to cover that. Okay, there is another leaf right here, but I don't think I'm going to paint it. Yeah, it's just some lines, and they're very thin, and I don't have a super thin brush to get in there, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we'll do that, see? And then I'll do the same thing on this side with these greens, and of course they'll need a closer attention. I gotta get my face in there, get really close to some of these things. I'm not liking this coming down like that, so I'm gonna paint over that. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Okay, then I wanted to do this here with this fuchsia, so let's see how that looks. Oops, it's a brand new color, so I gotta take off the little thing here. So 1 minute. Guys, I also have a little fan on for myself because I get really hot and these shingles because my skin burns with that. Again, I need to have a fan on for that, so I'm really sorry about the sound from that in the background. Okay, so here I am, and I'm going to do a better job of this I just need to get like really close my face into them to paint, and of course hold this at a different angle. I'm just showing you what colors I'm using and how I'm applying it. Super easy. One thing that I do not have is a clear coat sealant. You know, anytime of a varnish or something like that that I can spray or brush on. I do have Mod Polish, and it's in a gloss, and I don't mind a gloss finish on this. Okay, I'll do a better job of that, but as you can see, that's what I intend to be the colors on this side. I think that's going to look really pretty. Okay, so then for this one, this is going to be that same pink as these right here. Just do that. Get rid of some of that paint on the brush for now. Excuse me. And then I'm going to use this lighter green, obviously, for that little bit right here, the leaves over here. And it's got some like little leaves right here that I think I'm going to paint this lighter green. Yeah, and it's got one on the other side. It ends up forming like a little heart shape right here. So I'll do that, but for this leaves here and this leaf, I'm going to do a darker green. Oops, sorry, because I feel like on a sunflower you get a darker green. So I'm going to use this Christmas green. It's not like a super dark green, it's just a darker than the other one. Okay, so I'm going to use this darker green on these. And I'm looking at her skin. I really like it. I ended up liking the result, although she is darker than what I thought I was going to do. That paint dried. Had a darker shade. Everything is drying a little darker. That's why when I started doing the pink, I thought, oh no, that's a little too dark, and I ended up lightening it. I ended up lightening it because, you know, it was going to dry a little bit darker. So I'm glad I did that because I like the pink that I have now, and I like the salmon, which I also lightened up. See, I like that. I like that darker green. It's got a leaf down here as well. Kind of like a, I don't know, it looks almost like a grass blade. So I need to do that. Nice. That actually came out really nice. Okay. Considering all the messes that I've been doing and everything that I've been having to touch up. I haven't painted in so long, you guys. I used to be so good at painting. Just painting, you know, freehand things, and I can't do that anymore. My hands don't want to do things like they used to. I can't control them like I used to. I used to have very nice handwriting. I don't have that anymore. I can't. Also, I used to do cake decorating, and I used to be able to pipe things very nicely. Very nice straight lines, little shells, things like that. I can't for any amount of money get that correct now. Okay, let me look for a light brown. If it's right here, I have this. What is this? This is a pumpkin color. I'm going to go ahead and use this for the middle of the sunflower because I don't want it to be another brown. I want some bright colors. So I'm going to use this. Is it too orangey? Maybe. Let's see. Let me grab a little tiny dab of brown into that pumpkin. Let me see if I can get just a little drop without squirting out a bunch of it out. I think it's going to squirt out there a tiny little bit. Well, that was the plan. Okay, let's see. Let's mix it with some of this orange. Oh, I like that better. Okay, I know the center of a sunflower is a pretty dark brown, but you know what? This is not real, okay? And I don't even know if that's a sunflower, to be honest with you. But it was painted yellow. So I'm going to go with that it's a sunflower. And sunflower is used a lot in a lot of Mexican art. So, all right. So now I'm going to use this bright yellow, and it's a little bright. So I'm going to add a little bit of this apricot. Make it not so bright yellow, even though it's still a bright color. But like I said, everything dries, and it dries a little darker than what you initially put on, especially on clay. I think all of the clay also absorbs a lot of paint, except that because it's already had some paint, it's not absorbing it, so it's all staying on the upper layer. And sometimes when you go again with a brush, especially if the brush is wet, you end up removing some of it. So it's one of those things where you have to be very patient. See there? That's a pretty yellow. It's not too bright. Oh, I was going to do a lot of this work off camera, and look, I'm doing it right here in front of you. What do you think of that? Nice, huh? But I mean, this is the whole idea, is that you can see what I'm doing, right? I know I started some of it, and then I said, okay, I'm going to finish it off camera. But this, I think you should see most of it. How's my camera holding off? So far so good, and I've got the camera too high. You're not seeing what I'm doing down here. Forgive me. Okay, so I painted this beautiful little leaves down here. Green, and you didn't see any of that. I am so sorry. That's because I zoomed it in so you could see more of what I'm doing when I was doing this part. And then I didn't look back at the camera. You guys, I am so sorry about also not putting some videos up. Like last week, I didn't do anything. It was just because I got really sick. It wasn't just the shingles. I had a little bit of, I mean, you can probably tell by my voice, a little bit of a flu. All right, I'm finishing up, giving this some little extra touches, an extra coat on these. And I'm actually adding just a little bit of yellow. I still got to clean up this right here. So I'm adding a little bit of yellow on this green here up here, just to give it a little bit of a highlight. And I added a little bit of darker green to this one, and then to the centers of these I also added a little bit of yellow. I think that looks really pretty. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. There is something that I'm kind of looking at, these pink flowers, and I'm feeling like, I don't know, maybe they're not highlighted enough. So I'm going to add a little bit of the lighter pink, this flamingo pink, just a tad mixed in with the fuchsia, and just kind of highlight a little bit, just like that, with almost a dry brush, just to highlight that. And that works really well. I'll do the same thing over here. And then I need to finish obviously over here, but first let me go ahead and do this middle part. I'm really happy with the sunflower. I like the dark green of these leaves, so let's touch these up a little bit. Let me go down. Once again, I don't have the camera in the right place. I'm really very sorry, you guys. It's just that I'm zoomed in once again, and I'm not looking to see where I have it. I just moved myself down. So I highlighted this flower. I think you saw that. And then I highlighted this over here with a little bit of yellow. And so now I'm coming back to this here. And I'll do all this the same way that I've done all of that. So all I'm doing is giving this a second coat, just so you don't see the paint underneath. Try not to get my head in the way. Let me move this back a little bit. Excuse me. So yeah, I have a little bit of a flu here. So that's another reason I wasn't feeling well at all. Okay, so this green here, I decided that would be this lighter, just like over here. ahead and do that. And then here I've got like a little bit of a heart shape going on. And it ends up with a little heart shape in there. And I don't have very good brushes. These are old brushes. And they're kind of worn. They lost their shape. So I can't control them. And again, I don't have very good control of my hands or my fingers or anything anymore. Okay, so then I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to highlight this one a little bit with yellow. It's a very subtle highlight that I'm doing. I don't think, you might not be able to see it on camera, but I can see it in person. And I really like the look of it. And it's got some more lines, more little details on here, but they're so small and so thin that there's no way that I can get, I don't have a thin enough brush to get in there, or like a little paint marker to do that. I want to highlight a little bit of the sunflower as well. So I'm going to grab this pumpkin orange. And I'm going to, let me wipe that off again one more time. And pick up just a little bit of that. And just highlight it a little bit. Just like that. And it gives it a little bit of character to what I'm doing. I'm going to get some of the darker brown. I'm going to try to do it like on a dry brush. Do the center part right here. I like that. Looks good. Alright, that is good. So I'm going to do this part here. And I'll see if I can get, like, there's some little dots on here. See if I can get my really thin brush. Where is it? A little tiny one. I don't know where it went. Here it is. I'm going to see if I can get that to just make me the little dots, or I'll use actually the skinny end of one of these brushes. This one's thinner. Oh, this one's good. This one's got a really nice, let me use this hot pink to do these little dots. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to clean up that little bit up on the top here, right here. Just going to clean that up and finish this other side. And then I'll do a coat of Mod Podge on it, and that'll be it, you guys. Alright, everyone. There she is. All finished up. I did run out of Mod Podge, so I ended up using some white glue that I watered down a little bit to seal her up. And, you know, I was a little bit in a rush to do that, so a little bit of the wet paint on here when I was brushing things on. That's okay. I don't mind it. Little dot right here. I don't care. She looks perfectly good, and she's ready to walk the black runway here. Look at that. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors. My husband came in while I was finishing her up, adding the Mod Podge, and he said, "Oh, she looks so pretty. I love the colors." So you know what, guys? I'm happy. He likes it. I'm very happy. Let's take a look at her face here close up. She looks absolutely stunning. She's got a more realistic color, and I love it. So, that being said, I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. and leave a kind comment down below. Let me know what you think. What other ideas would you have? Do you have any ideas for any future videos, you guys? I'm not dried out, and I know that we have Easter and such. I could have still done another Valentine or a couple more Valentine videos, but really and truly I wanted to paint her. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do her because I'm just not in the mood. This whole thing that I'm going through is just not, it just got me in a really dry kind of mood. And you know, I don't have as many views on my videos, so that does kind of make me a little bit sad as well. I'm trying not to let it get to me because I do enjoy making the videos. I do enjoy crafting, but I just need to get myself back in the mood. Alright, so if you have any suggestions for any future videos, please leave them in the comments below. If you're enjoying the content of my videos, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Choose all, so that you get notified as soon as I upload a video. Now, subscriber count doesn't matter. What matters are the views and the comments and, of course, the likes. So that's mainly what I ask of you to do that for me. I want to thank those of you who are continued watching my videos. Thank you for your support. Thank you to a lot of people who are watching like my older videos. I'm really surprised how many people are actually looking at that. But I hope that you'll, you know, kind of look ahead and notice that I do have some new, more recent videos. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for watching. And as always, enjoy.